Hello everyone, my name is Mariella Herberstein. I'm the Chair of Academic Senate, and this video blog summarizes very briefly the meeting of Academic Senate that was held on April 11. As with my previous blog, I will only briefly summarize some of the important topics that were raised at Senate rather than go through the entire agenda. I'd like to highlight that in the acknowledgement of country, we have now instigated a rotating system where different senators will acknowledge country, and it doesn't just fall to the chair, and so that everyone can bring a personal perspective to the acknowledgement of country. And in the last meeting, Judith McKay Tempest acknowledged the country for Academic Senate. You can find all resolutions that we took at the latest Senate meeting from the Senate website, and I've put the URL below you. So that's the Senate in brief that summarizes in a very handy and neat format all resolutions that we've took, all the programs that we've approved and the programs we have disestablished. In my report from the chair, which is agenda item number 6, I just raised the issue of communication between Senate and outside Senate, between Senate, the departments, the faculties, and offices across the university, and how this is actually quite tricky. And obviously the task of the senators is to inform their colleagues about the topics and the issues that have gone on in Senate, that are before Senate, but at the same time we have to be wary about not creating email storms within faculties. To assist the communication, the Academic Senate website is very handy, and not only does it provide all the minutes that you'll be able to see once they've been approved by Senate, but we also have the Senate in brief, as I said, that summarizes all the resolutions, and we now also have a web page that summarizes and updates all the Senate projects, and I'll get to that a little bit later. So that was my discussion for Senate. Our next point was the Vice-Chancellor's oral update. The Vice-Chancellor informed us that the enrollments for session 1 were strong, slightly higher, the student load higher than in 2016, and that the international numbers are continuing to recover in enrollments. The Vice-Chancellor informed us about the interim arrangement for the students and registrar portfolio following the resignation of Deirdre Anderson, and he thanked her for her contributions, extraordinary contributions to the universities. He also informed us about the retirement of the Chief Information Officer, Dr. Mary Davis. The Vice-Chancellor then pondered the latest University Australia Higher Education Conference in Canberra, where the senators for the Minister for Education and Training, Simon Birmingham, addressed the Universities Australia, and talking about potential budget implications of the government for the universities. The Vice-Chancellor then discussed that the university is in preparation for the engagement and impact assessment trial that the ARC is conducting, the government is conducting, and that we are embarking on an event for a joint teaching and research awards somewhat later in the year. Those were the main points that the Vice-Chancellor made in his oral update. Our next agenda item that I'd like to record here was a presentation by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Corporate Engagement and Advancement, Professor David Wilkinson, who presented the plan for the Macquarie Innovation District and explained to us the companies that are currently involved in the Macquarie Park Innovation District, who are working with the university, and the kind of activities that the university is planning with those companies. The next point on the agenda, which was, from my perspective, a major point, was the projects of Senate for 2017. We have undergone a number of discussions at Senate to focus and finalize the work for Senate for 2017, and we've distilled 8 projects for 2017. We have done the scoping of the projects, the membership of the project groups, and now these projects will, pending the final approval, which was given at the April Senate meeting, are starting to go ahead with working parties starting their work. The projects themselves, you can view them on the URL that I've linked below. This is not just a list of projects, it also is a site that hosts the latest documents with these projects, and it is also a site that allows you to provide some comments and feedback on the projects as they develop. If you would like to participate in any of these projects more formally, please do contact me, and I'll be happy to incorporate you in any way that I can. So at the end of the discussion of these projects, where I asked senators to present individual projects, Senate resolved to approve the projects, the scope of the project, and the membership of the working parties, and the working parties will now bring to Senate at defined dates, updates, and then finally a document for approval for Senate, a proposal. And those were really the main items that I'd like to discuss today. In the minutes, you will also find the various reports of the Senate committees and the faculty boards. Our next Senate meeting will be on Tuesday, May 30th at 9:30 in the Senate room. The Senate meetings are open to all staff, so please just email the email below if you wish to participate. And that's it for me this time, and I hope to see you either at Senate or in my next blog. Thank you and bye-bye.